Hello, everyone. This is Saul Maraney from Johannesburg, South Africa. And today I'm very excited to have on the line Jimmy James. Jimmy James lives in Canada. He's a good friend of mine and in one of my mastermind groups. And he's just brought out a new WSO called Amazon Kindle Profits. So, Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on the line and for talking to me today. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Saul. Thanks for having me, and I'm pretty excited.
Wonderful. So, congratulations on your WSO. I've gone through it and I really enjoyed it. And it's something, Kindle is really exciting, and it's certainly something that I've been looking to get into, and you've laid it out very nicely. But I'd like to take a step back before we come to your product. And can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your day job, and how you got into internet marketing and what attracted you to come online?
Yeah, sure. So basically, my background is in computers. I have about 10 years experience in new media web development, where we focus mostly on websites and building like that kind of thing. I also am a tradesman painter, so I own a pretty successful painting company. So I've been doing that when the computer thing was slow and vice versa. As for the internet marketing thing, it's only been maybe a year, maybe even just under. I haven't been into the internet marketing game that long, but I got into it and I learned real quick that if I got a mentor, that it'll help speed up my progress and my learning curve. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, and hence the Kindle product.
Wonderful. So look, I think you've done very well in your short time, and it's great that I've got to know you and I've seen you grow. And yes, as you say, you've got yourself a mentor, and I see that's also very important, and that's the route that I've gone. So many people come online, and it is quite overwhelming, especially as we know in the Warrior Forum, there's at least 10 or 12 new products a day. On JVZoo, there's a lot of shiny objects every single day, and they all look amazing. But as you know and I know, the most important thing is to shift from a buyer's mentality into a seller's mentality, because it's also very important to earn as you learn, because there's always so much to learn. How did you come to that realization that you in fact needed a mentor, a coach? What was that turning point for you?
I think it's because I'm a very much a self-learner, so I spent a lot of time learning, which most people do, and not enough time executing. And I think it got to the point where I end up, and I will admit I was one of those shiny object people. I think we all are at one point. But then I realized that I'm spending more money, I'm not making money, and I do have a passion for it, but I really just kind of needed some guidance. So I actually was following my mentor, who is my mentor now, our mentor, and I've been following him since he's been doing the internet marketing thing, and I kind of really enjoyed his style and how he tells and explains and teaches. So I just figured, if I'm going to do it, then the best thing to do is invest in myself, and that's kind of what I did, and so here we are.
Ah, well, that's a great story, and we followed the same path, and it is inspiring to just to see how well you've done, and it's great, and I think that it can be a great example for anyone that's watching this, because I know for myself, I was in a niche unrelated to actually internet marketing itself, but I've been online for a long time in the hypnosis niche, and then I started looking at coming more into the internet marketing niche. And yes, like I spent a lot of money, and I was coming onto the forums daily. And do you agree it's so important to have like a group of like-minded people that you can network with and have a mentor? Because coming online, and it's quite confusing, and also with your peers offline, they usually don't understand and they can't relate to what you're doing online. So it's important to have that sort of network of like a mastermind and a coach that's with you on a daily basis.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The problem with the internet marketing world is it can become a lonely place, especially when we spend a lot of time on our computers. And so when you have others that are like-minded with you, working with you, doing the exact same thing, everybody's kind of going through the same processes and everything else. You not only learn from each other, but the energy is really, it really does really does make a huge difference. So there's days when you wake up and you're just like, I don't want to do. I mean, we all get there, but when you have support and you have other fellows that are like in the same game and they're all doing the exact same thing, then the energy's up. I mean, it's great, and the mentor really makes a huge difference. And like I said, with all of that, it's helped project or helped speed up my success online faster than me trying to do it on my own.
Yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, I think it's very important, and that will be continuously my motto, that when one is able to afford it, and even if you have to borrow the money, it's important to have a mentor and be able to get into the right sort of circle of people that can support you. And not all mentors are equal, so you have to be quite careful of the sort of coach that you choose. But if you find the right coach, you can save a lot of opportunity costs in terms of money and time, and also motivation, because I certainly believe if you try it alone, you've got the odds really against you, and then you may give up. And this is such an exciting and evolving industry, and there is money to be made. So, I totally agree. So, Jimmy, I'd like to talk about your product that you've released. And as I said earlier, I really enjoyed it. It's called Amazon Kindle Profits. Can you tell us a little bit about your WSO and what was your thinking behind it, and when someone purchases it, what can they expect to learn?
Well, I've been doing Amazon for a little bit of time right now, and I have kind of like my own system that works for me. So what I try to do when I put the WSO together, the course, I try to think about the end user more than anything else. Not all of us learn at the same rate, and some of us need a little more clear and concise information, but also need to have, we're visual learners or whatever it is. So I try to take all that in consideration when I made the course. That's why it is only a 6-step process. It's really not all that hard. You don't have to be a writer or anything like that. And yeah, so I just, like I said, just the end user is kind of what I was looking at, and I just wanted to make sure that they perceived a lot of value out of what I was giving them.
Oh, wonderful. Well, as I said, I've been through the course, I've been through the PDF, and I think it's really a nice step, and it's a nice arsenal it's a nice thing to have in part of your arsenal and part of your growth online, because it brings a lot of credibility to have an Amazon book out there. And you've been going through your process. You don't actually need to be a writer. You've shown us how to outsource a lot of it, and the steps are very concise. And yeah, so congratulations on that. So that is the Amazon Kindle Profits, and when one purchases your WSO and the ebook and the PDF, they're going to learn all about that. In terms of, is there an OTO, is there an upsell related to your WSO that one can expect?
Yes. So basically what a PDF does is it gives you enough to get you started as a newbie or not a writer. But the OTO is a little different. What it was is I created a video walkthrough for the visual learners that like to actually see it in action. And I also created a little bit of a cheat sheet that I emphasize on a few things that really you need to take into consideration to really make money with Amazon. I also included a 35 niche list of some of the hot niches that you can write books around through Amazon. And I put together a Facebook mastermind group so that you could meet other like-minded individuals, and we could all share books and review each other's books, because reviewing is actually one of the big deals for you to make money.
Wow. So yes, so congratulations. As I said, I am very excited about it. I'm going to be diving into this myself. I've got a few projects that I'm finishing off, and I'm glad that I've been through your course, and I'm certainly going to be implementing it myself. So, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. And guys, I really recommend this one. It's a great course on Amazon. It can show you Amazon Kindle. It can show you exactly how to go through the process. The OTO I've picked up for myself, and I've really enjoyed it. It isn't necessary because the PDF can get you started, but it's as Jimmy said, it really adds a lot of extra steps. I'm a visual learner myself, so I enjoy the videos. Then those hot niches are Jimmy's done the work for you. You want, I mean, you can do it yourself, but he's laid it out, the hot niches, and that's where people are buying. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely one that I recommend. And as I said, Jimmy is a close friend of mine, and you can expect a lot of value in this. So, Jimmy, really thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. I really appreciate it. I'd like to just ask you one more question before we end the interview. For anyone that's listening to this and finds themselves in a position that you were in before you made your turn and that I was in, what sort of advice can you give to a person that may be struggling and still in that complete buyer's mentality and, just buying product after product and not seeing any results yet?
To be frank, stop buying products. Start there, and then also, I would look into getting a mentor. I wouldn't just get anybody like you said, Saul. I would actually look and see who some of these mentors are out there. There's a lot of guys out there that are really out for your success, not really their own. And so getting a mentor really will help you take it to the next level. And don't look at it like you're giving the mentor money and it's like, oh, I got to pay all this money. I would look at it more like you're investing in yourself. It's no different if you're paying to go to school or anything else. As long as you're learning the steps to get to where you want to be and you're fulfilling your goals and objectives, then you should be good to go. But yeah, get a mentor and stop buying things. Really get into the mind frame of being a marketer and selling things.
Great. Well, Jimmy, I really agree with you. And as you said, it's important to stop buying and implement what you've already got. And a mentor is so important because like any top golfer or any sportsman or even like top businessmen, they have mentors and they have coaches, and I couldn't agree with you more. And yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. Guys, this has been Saul Maraney from Johannesburg, South Africa. And as I said, I've reviewed this product for you. I highly recommend it. Amazon Kindle is only growing, and yeah, so pick this up. There's a link to the right, there's a link below, and I encourage you to purchase this product. But as I always say, the most important thing is to implement it and read it and take action, because you are going to see results with this. And if it resonates with you, pick it up, and I'd love to hear about your success. So this has been Saul Maraney from Johannesburg, South Africa. I've been speaking to Jimmy James about Kindle marketing, and I wish you guys all the best of luck. Thank you very much.